And hopefully we have the YouTube on the go. There we go. No issues this week with the stream, so we are live. Welcome to Delta T Racing Division 3 Season 2 round number 5 for the Austrian Grand Prix. Just waiting on the last little bit of loading now, but yeah. And we're in. So we'll see who goes out first. Now let's so last week, Gerjo was left in the lead of the championship on 70 points, but he isn't here this week. So this will be the opportunity. Well, Fox Blue needs to gain 14 points or more, so Fox Blue needs a podium finish to take the lead of the championship. And to be ahead of Billy, but still. With Gerjo not showing, that is an easy gain to help out Fox Blue there. Opting to go out on the medium tyres to begin with himself. Let's see. What are the AlphaTauris out first? That is Travis. Let's see. Rounds the final two corners, 2 starters lap. It's turn 1, spots the braking point, misses the apex slightly, but nice and clean through there. Quite safe compared to how Division 1, well, how I've seen other people take it, but each to their own. It's very easy to get warnings and penalties around this track, as I know all too well myself, so sometimes you need to play it safe to capitalise. Little lift. Ooh, drift very wide through that corner there. And then the final 2 right-handers to finish off his lap. A little bit of a scruffy middle sector, but Travis starts us off with a 105.4. I believe next person will be his teammate Valtteri. Just get a lot of understeer through that last corner, but he goes second with a 107. Evil Master onto provisional pole with a 104.5. Gunnar into second with a 104.9. Teammate in front of him seemingly invalidated. Yep. Xavi goes quickest on the medium tyre with a 104.3. That's a very strong lap. A few yellow flags about the place. That is one of the Alpines off the track. That is Headless King. Fox Blue has gone onto provisional pole with an identical lap time to Xavi on the medium tyre as well, so the top 2 literally inseparable right now. Looks like Fox Blue may be going again though. We'll just see what happens with that. Mikey coming round to finish his lap now in the Red Bull. Only a 10.4, so not particularly representative. I think he'll be going around to start another lap. Stavruli coming through the final corner, he has invalidated. One of the Hasses next. That is Reliot, and he goes 6th. On the Mercedes coming around now, that is Fox Blue, and he has come around to do another lap. He does improve marginally to 104.36. On the Alpines round next, that will be Headless King, who has set a rather unrepresentative lap time of as of current. Hops for 6th through the second last corner. Pretty clean run, and he improves to a 107.0. Mikey comes round again on maybe an unrepresentative lap, and he does a 105.7. Stavruli coming around now, managed to avoid invalidating his lap time this time around, and he goes 7th with a 105.0. Elliot goes 6th, Billy up to 4th with a 104.59, goes very wide to let people past. Stewart coming around now, and he goes just ahead of his teammate by about half a tenth. Both McLarens again looking strong for this race. That will be one of the Alpines coming again. Headless King coming around again. Let's see if he does do another lap. He is coming around again to finish this lap that he's on. And that puts him 7th with a 104.6. Very good lap time thus far. From the medium runners, Huss comes around to finish his lap. Only 14th. Maybe we'll go around again, have another effort. Wazza has invalidated his lap time. Looks like Billy may be going again. Hits that apex in turn 1 very nicely. Gets a nice clean run on the way up towards turn 3. Eagle Master getting out of his way there. He's marginally up on his time. Clean exit of turn 3. Into turn 4 now. Very tidy up thus far as we enter turn 5. Up towards the second sector split. He is 3 turns up on his time. This will be a lap that will be good enough for provisional pole, if he can keep it together. Through 8. Little bit of understeer. Shouldn't cost him too much though. Let's see what he does. He lost time. That is only 2nd place for Billy thus far, but the top 3 all on the medium tyres, not showing their true face as of yet. Wazza comes around now. 2 set a lap. And he goes 4th. Good lap time for Wazza. Let's see now. What do we have for Terry's next? That will be Travis. Lot of understeer through 8 comes round. Now improves to P12, but definitely not a perfect lap for him. And he's invalidated his next lap as well. Next will be one of the Astons. I believe that will be Evil Master, who is also invalidated. So Billy next round. Let's hope they don't impede him. Billy pitting by the looks, so never mind. So next round will be Valtteri again. Does opt to complete his lap, takes a shorter run to the line, and goes 5th. See what sprints you can do. One of the 3 people yet to set a lap. Quali bands in play, I believe. And he has invalidated through the second last corner. See what that lap would have been though. It would have been in 105.2, which would have put him 14th. Huss not necessarily having the greatest of qualifyings right now. Very similar to myself over in Division 1. Maybe struggling with track limits and invalidations. That is one of the Aston Martins around. I believe that is Evil Master, who has spun out of the final corner and he is missing a front wing. I've not seen a spin there for a while. Or at least a car ending up there with no front wing anyway. I've seen spins out of the final corner. But in a way that he ends up on the outside of the track, not really. Missed that. Fox Blue goes into the 103s on his first representative's lap on those softs. See now, Xavi has invalidated his lap time, so then Goebbels will be known. He has lifted off. He will not be sending a representative lap time there. Evil Master has no front wing. Duna, that's right on board with Duna. Slightly down on his current time. Have to see if he makes it up in this final sector though. He opts to pit. Huss out there on fresh softs. May offer him some good. See. Couple attempts up on his time, which would put him in the ballpark of going into the top 10 if he can keep that time, or maybe gain more time as he goes through these final 2 corners. Car gets a little bit wayward in that second last corner, but managed to keep everything on the track. And he goes 11 for the 104.641. Headless King apparently taking a purple first sector there, so let's ride on board with this lap. His teammate lets him through. It's a nice clean run into the 2 left-handers in the middle sector. He is 4 attempts up. So if he can find about 2 attempts in this final sector, he can go on to provisional pole. Good run through there. Keeps it within the track limits. Let's see if there's a new provisional pole time. No, it's not. Not enough for provisional pole. But a 104.1 from Headless King. He is on 3 lap old softs though, so I don't think we've seen all there is to see from Headless King thus far. Billy is invalid on an invalid lap. Valtteri has seemingly lifted off. It's right on board with Stewart. A little bit late. He is out of ERS. See Travis then. Yellow in sector 2, that's Valtteri. I believe he's lifted off to start his lap. Travis is 10th or so up through the first sector. Ferrari gets out of his way nice and cleanly there. It's a good run through 4. Quite shallow line there, but has lost him some time. He's only marginally up. Oh, and he's round. He's lost it. and he has rolled off into the barrier. And he has retired on track. That is a retirement on track. People need to stop doing this. It is a qualifying ban for doing so. But that is it for Travis this week in qualifying. Valtteri also retiring in the pits. Most people in the pits are on an out lap. The only person on the lap right now is Evan, and he is invalidated at lap time. So let's ride on board with Spritz, who takes a very wide line out of the first corner. Could have ended in invalidation. He is down on his current time of a 5.0. Although his best lap time is on the mediums. So there will be time to be gained in this middle sector. Let's see then. Run through the final two corners. Quite conservative through the second last. And Spalas gets a little bit of understeer. Let's see what he does on the run up to the line. He has not improved. See gang levels then. Headless King out there on the same set of softs. Apparently. Paris. Never mind, I've been looking at the wrong telemetry data. Foxglue on his outlap. Headless King has invalidated. So it will be Dan Glevel's coming around to set his lap first. I believe he has lifted off. That is somebody round out of the final two corners. I don't know who that was. I believe it might have been one of the Williams. That will have been Spritz. Billy goes quickest with a 103.8. Missed that one. Let's see. Dan Global's in the pits. That is Dan Global's qualifying over. Fourth will be the highest he gets. Let's see now with Headless King. What can he do on the run up to the first sector split? He is down on his time currently. Huss has retired in the pits. So Huss will start no better than 11th. Evan will start no better than 16th. Guna up to 5th. Billy may be going round to set another lap here. About a 10th up. He's backed off into the final corner. So Headless King will be the next round of the top 5. Takes a very wide line there, but he has lifted off. Stewart on an in-lap. Fox Blue has invalidated. So unless we can see a big lap from Waza, who is invalidated, or Stavruli, Billy will be on pole for this Austrian Grand Prix. Let's see what Stavruli does. He does not improve. And with Stewart in the pits, that is Billy on pole. Fox Blue in second, and Stewart third. Strategy will come into play though, with Billy, Headless King, Guna, Evil Master, Waza, all on 2 lap old softs. everyone outside of the top 10 will obviously have free tyre choice. Let's have a look at the best lap times though for that. Xavi starting on the mediums. Lots of people out there starting on used sets of softs. So, seemingly some more wear. So, a British top 3 for the Austrian Grand Prix, with Billy on pole from Fox Blue, Stewart starting 3rd, Headless King 4th, Gunnar 5th, Manglobbles 6th, Evil Master 7th, Xavi 8th on the medium tyre. That would be an interesting one to watch. Was a 9th, Valtteri 10th, Stavrouli 11th, Huss 12th, and from there we move on to the race. We have Gojo in our chat. Shame you couldn't join us this week to try and extend your championship lead, but still, there's only so much you can do. Sometimes there are weeks you miss. Sometimes there are weeks you just can't make, but still. This does leave a wide open opportunity for, I think Fox Blue. I need to double check the standings again. Yes, this does open things wide open for Fox Blue to gain the lead of the championship here. See now with the tyre graphic. So, other than Xavi in the top 10 on the mediums, Stavrouli, Huss, Elliott, Spritzy, and Lil Mikey all opting to start on the mediums, with Reflex, Evan, and Travis starting on the soft compound. For those outside of the top 10. It's a pretty simple one stop from the soft tyre to the medium tyre, but with the way this track seems to be, it will be very easy for collisions to happen. And Stewart and Headless King have made contact on the formation lap, so they will be on very cold tyres to start this race. Maybe something to be looked into by the stewards there, but that's not what you really want to see on a formation lap. And both drivers are not going to be happy about that. I'll be sure of that. There will be a lot of upset between both drivers, since they will now be on very, very cold tyres to start this race. Reflex there, dropping quite a way back. I'm not sure how far back he was, but that might be something to be looked into by the stewards also, as there is a minimum distance of 10 car lengths under the formation lap and safety car period. Those who aren't in the know, I do stewards for another league, so I do like to be on top of the rules, make sure I know exactly what's what. But still, let's ride on board with Gunnar off the start, as he will have much warmer tyres compared to the two guys in front. So then, here we go. 5 red lights for the Austrian Grand Prix. Very early call on the lights. That has caught Headless King absolutely napping. He is down to 12th. He has been swamped off the start. Gunnar up to 4th. Stewart is past Fox Blue. We have a McLaren 1-2 to start this race. Fox Blue, though, will maybe try and come back at Stewart. Opts to fight another day, but he does have Dan Globbles up his inside. Gunnar is now on the outside of Dan Globbles into turn 4. Ooh, and Billy and Stewart side by side. Stewart takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Billy dropping back to second. Stewart seemingly not suffering too badly from those colder tyres. Not sure what's going on there. Evil Master up the inside of Gunnar into the... Oh, and he's been spun. Evil Master is round. I would put Gunnar at fault for that. Turned in a little bit too early there. Still, Stewart in the lead. Billy second, Fox Blue third. Dan Globbles 4th, and then a second gap to Gunnar. Oh, and we have a retirement. Evil Master is out of the race, and he has crashed on the track. I'm pretty sure he's crashed on the track. I will maybe have to check that in post. We have a 5-second penalty between Evan and Headless King for a collision. Maybe one to be looked into by the stewards. Not sure. But Elliott and Huss both opting to pit, change tyres, maybe get a new front wing. But a very chaotic opening couple of laps there. I'll laugh at a bit. But it looks like we are getting ready to go again. And Stewart has got the jump off the virtuous safety car restart. Headless King already has a 3-second time penalty for track limit warnings. First of many for people in this race. DRS is now enabled. We have a yellow flag. I believe that is Evan into the pits. See if he needs a front wing change or not. Looks to be the case. Let's go back up to Travis and Valtteri. Travis has gone past Valtteri, but has gone very deep into turn 3. May give Valtteri the exit. Travis has the exit there. Xavi up the inside of Weiser on the medium tyre. Weiser will have the better grip and traction on the soft compound. He stays ahead for now. But the gap's looking pretty stagnant for the top 8, and then a 1.2 second gap. So Travers will be at the mercy of those behind him for DRS. Still now back up to the front. Stewart in the DRS of Billy. Maybe playing the team game here. Trying to hold Foxley behind and not attack his teammate. Certainly doesn't look to particularly be attacking. Headless King is past Travis on the run up to turn 3. But it will be a tough ask for those guys to catch the group in front now. Headless King doesn't have DRS on the group in front, but both McLarens still leading out front. Fox Blue third, Dan Globals 4th, and then a 7 attempt gap to Gunnar. The top 4 may be able to pull away from Gunnar, but they are gaining in the middle sector. Weiser 6th. And then Xavi and Sterili on the alternate strat. Oh, Dan Globals is out. Dan Globals has spun. And he is out of this race. And we have a full court safety car. Mikey has a 5-second penalty for a collision with a retired car. Codemasters do need to get on top of that. That is a pit entry cut if I've ever seen one though. So I believe that might be one to be looked into by the stewards. I'm not sure the entire policy on pit entry cuts in here. I know I've seen people penalised for that in the past in other leagues. Valtteri has gone onto the hard tyre. A move I wouldn't advise around here, like I wouldn't advise it at Imola, as I mean the hard tyres are not too bad here. They're certainly better than they are around Imola, but it's still not a great tyre. The only places the hard tyre is really viable would maybe be Portugal, which we are racing at next time out. And I would also say Hungary is a good place to use the hard tyres. But on this 2021 game, the hard tyres aren't that viable at many tracks. Let's see, Billy into the pits. Haas has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, but both McLarens into the pits. Let's ride on board with Stewart to assess the double stack feature. And a little bit of a delay, but not much. So, should be okay. Headless King has another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. So let's have a look at the penalty situation thus far. Huss and Mikey both having drive-through penalties, and Headless King on 6 seconds of penalties. Not sure where Mikey has picked up his drive-through penalty, but Fox Blue has managed to jump Stewart in the pits. But there are now a lot of cars between Stewart and Billy, the previous two leaders. And all of them, apart from Reflex, have pitted. So Stewart has lost 3-4 positions there due to pitting when he did. Safety car should be in next lap. We're just waiting on Mikey, Evan and Huss to catch the safety car queue, but judging by where the safety car is now and where the last two drivers on the grid are, the safety car would have been called to come in a long time ago. But from one team pairing leading the race to another, both Ferraris now out in the front of this race. Obviously starting on those medium tyres has brought them track position thus far. Huss into the pits. See if that's for a wing change. Does look like it. Doesn't look like it, sorry. Huss opting for the hard tyres as well. Interesting choice. A choice I would personally not make, but we will see how that turns out. Let's stay up at the front then. Billy will look to try and get past the guys in front of him, pull away from Fox Blue as much as he can, who has to clear the reflex on those aging soft tyres. The safety car will be in this lap, but that's right on board for Fox Blue, which this will be a pretty crucial restart for his race, as he needs to clear the reflex as soon as he can to get onto the back of Billy and try and challenge for this race win. But it will also be a crucial restart for Stewart, who has a lot of traffic in front of him, that he also needs to try and clear to get back up into position to fight for this win also. Still, back up to Fox Blue. The lead group have gone out of the final corner. Fox Blue getting a little bit hampered there off the restart by Reflex, who has had a pretty slow restart. Fox Blue is up the inside of the Reflex into turn 1. He is past. Oh, that is Spritzy out of the race. Spritzy has spun out of turn 1. So another victim claimed by the Austrian Mountains. But this is good news for Billy. The Reflex has had a pretty abysmal restart, and he is dropping like a stone through this field. But the good news for Billy is that he is out of that second window. He has broken DRS to his nearest rival for now. That was very hairy for Fox Blue, nearly spinning through the middle sector. The Reflex is out. The Reflex has spun through that same corner that I was just mentioning. And we have a virtual safety car. So the race is neutralized once again. Let's see who has made the most positions thus far. So obviously the top three making a lot of positions, but all three of them are yet to pit. They are the only drivers yet to pit in this race. So thus far, Wazza is the biggest winner. Already up 2 positions from where he started, and that is a legitimate net P4 that he has found himself in. Also good races thus far for Elliot and Evan, and Mikey, although Mikey is a fair way back from the rest of the field. And there was a point tonight that he was going to be commentating with me, but a little bit of musical chairs between where reserves were needed and where commentators were needed, ended up with him racing tonight for the Red Bull team. But it looks like we will be back underway shortly, with Xavi picking up speed at the front of the grid. There we go, DRS enabled. Stavruli 4 or 5 seconds behind his teammate, easy in DRS range. See if Travis was in DRS zone. Doesn't look like it, but he has used a lot of ERS trying to get into DRS out of turn 3, which he has successfully done so, but goes quite deep, leaving Billy did also not get DRS there. Stavruli has gone past his teammates into turn 4, so Stavruli now takes over the lead of this race. On those medium tyres, but Billy's still in the lead of this race, and he is making good progress over Fox Blue behind. Fox Blue really does need to get within that DRS window as soon as he can to try and limit the loss that he will make. Let's see, Stewart now, these are crucial laps for his race. He needs to try and clear these cars in front of him. Get back onto the back of Fox Blue as soon as he can. Headless King with another 3-second time penalty out of turn 1. Maybe he's thinking of a little luck there on Stewart. Billy very close now to Travis. Those pressure mediums doing him very good. Travis though using a lot of ERS out of turn 3 to defend from Billy. He takes a late dive up the inside of Xavi there, actually. Does have to back out of it though, into turn 6, I believe. I'm not sure exactly how the turns are numbered, but I believe this is turn 7 now. Travis gets a very poor exit. Can't remember if there's 10 or 11 corners around here. Billy goes around the outside. That is a very, very good move from Billy. Did have to go up the track to complete a little bit, but it's very unorthodox that you see a move through there. Travis's soft tyres obviously dying off quite significantly by this point. Let's have a look further back. Mikey, maybe under pressure from Huss, has gone very wide out of that second last corner. But on those soft tyres, he will have the superior grip compared to Huss. Ooh, Billy though. Billy up the inside of Xavi. That's what I get for cutting away. Billy making the progress he needs to. Meanwhile, Fox Blue caught behind both Xavi and Travis now. So Billy making the gains he needs over his rivals for this race win at the moment, and doesn't look to be on any doesn't look to be at risk of any penalties at the moment. That's a yellow flag. That is Elliott off into the gravel out of turn 7, I believe. Let's see, back up to the front though. Will Billy have a look into turn 3, or will he wait and go for it into turn 4? Let's see what he does. With the overspeed, looks like he's going to go for a move into turn 3. Quite late on the brakes, but is a clean move past Stavruli. That's a yellow flag. I believe that's Huss round. Huss has spawn? Words. Has spun out of the final corner. So that puts him a long way behind with a lot of work to do on those hard tyres. Billy now out in the lead. Yellow flag. That's Huss again. Spinning out of turn 1. I believe his tyres are pretty cooked right now. Evil Master has left. I'm surprised he's stayed for just up to a third of this race. Waza is past Travis into turn 10. There through the 3-second time penalty, as was Stewart. So that's bad news for Stewart then, who still has a lot of positions to make up to be back where he was. But he does look to try and get past Travis now. Up the inside into turn 3. Can he make the move stick? Yes, he does. Later on the brakes. Travis may be going for the cutback though out of turn 3. Has the DRS to make it work. Does he have the tyre life and the grip? No, he doesn't. So Stewart claims 6th place on the road. Gets a little bit of poor exit to turn 4, but should be okay. But he has fallen out of that second barrier he needs to Waza. He does look to be understeering a lot though. Does Stewart have damage? He looks to be struggling. He is. He's missing his front left end plate. Stewart into the pits then for a wing change, as is Travis to get off those soft tyres, and Headless King in the pits. So that is bad luck. That is bad news for Stewart, who was at one point in the lead of this race. Now serving a wing change. Fox Blue is past Xavi up at the front. And he is still in striking distance of Billy. Still really having a little look at Billy there with the overspeed. Those used mediums for the Ferraris proving not to be too bad. But Billy now is just about out of that second window of Fox Blue. Now he will look to stretch his advantage. Let's see now. Buna 3.6 behind Waza. Evan is past Valtteri, who seems to have a poor exit or something there. I'm not sure what's gone on there. Travis out there on fresh mediums, as is Stewart. As is King on the back of Mikey. Helps to move on the inside of turn 9. Leaves a lot of room. Makes the move stick. See, back up at the front. Stavruli playing this plays into his strategy very well. He can just use the DRS ability to pull him along on those aging mediums, and this will help him get ahead of his rivals and open out that advantage he needs. But he is still yet to pit in this race. Both Ferraris still need to pit. Both opting for the medium tyres to start. It won't be long until we see them pit, but but now they're both staying out. Zabi gets very wide out of turn 1, but... Ooh, that's Stewart out. Stewart has crashed in the middle sector. And that is a virtual safety car. And it has been upgraded to a full course safety car. The second full safety car of this race. Headless King has a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Mikey opting to pit onto a fresh set of the medium tyre. I believe he also had a 5-second penalty to serve, so that will be now out of the way for him. Huss coming into the pits to get off those hard tyres. But this leaves the Ferrari drivers with an interesting choice of do they pit or do they not. Stavruli opts to pit, as does Foxley, but Billy stays out. Now this is going to be another, I reckon this will be another last lap situation of, you know, can Foxley get past Billy? Because Billy now has the lead of the race again, and track position, opting not to pit. But everyone else behind him opting to pit. Stavruli has gone on to the soft tyre at the halfway point of this race. That will be 18 laps on the softs. I'm not sure how well they're going to manage. I think they'll be pretty dead by the end of this race. But he may be taking a gamble. He may be hoping for another safety car period in which he can box for another set of softs. Only time will tell with that matter. But Foxley on fresh mediums, Wazo on fresh mediums, Goon on fresh mediums, Travis and Headless King on mediums, Valtteri and Evan on fresh mediums, Elliot also opting for fresh softs, but Mikey on fresh mediums. Everyone now is on the mediums or the soft tyres. Zabi playing, I'm not sure what strategy he's trying to play here with those medium tyres and staying out for them on them as long as he has. But it's going to be interesting to watch Stavruli off this restart, because he was on much grippier tyres than both cars in front of him. And if he can pull away and build a big enough advantage before his tyres drop away, Stavruli could be on to win this race. I'm going to say it right here, even though there is a hefty evidence of the commentator's curse in this league. Notably in round 1 of Division 1, where I believe it was Nailboy commentating that day, commentating over Wesley, praising Wesley, and then Wesley spun. So there is direct evidence of the commentator's curse existing in this league. So maybe I've cursed Stavruli, but you know, he's taken the gamble for those soft tyres, and really the safety car is going to reduce the wear that he's going to put on them, so he could make it to the end, I think. It just depends on how well he can make his tyres last. For the remaining duration of this race. Let's see now, safety car will be in next lap. We are waiting on Mikey and Huss to catch the back of the pack again. See what the penalty situation looks like. So we have Headless King with his drive-through, which he will serve off of this restart. Then Travis, Valtteri, Elliot and Huss all on 3 seconds. I also believe Headless King is on multiple track limit penalties. Still, most cars on the back of the safety car queue now, so it will presumably be in very shortly. Which is good news, because I'm not very good at commentating under these safety car periods. But Steruli is going to be the one to watch, I reckon. With those soft tyres. Safety car is in this lap. Valtteri has a penalty for collision with Headless King. Headless King getting himself involved in a lot of incidents and costly mistakes. I believe that saying he has a drive-through, he has multiple child limit warnings. And if there is no pit again, I believe Travis will probably opt to try and get that removed. Let's see now, up at the front. How late will Billy go? He's opted to go out of the final corner. Wazza has a 3-second time penalty. Xavi has lifted up to let Steruli through. A lot of team play there. And I reckon Xavi's gonna try and hold Foxwell up as much as he can. Let's see though. Steruli looking to make the early strike on Billy. Doesn't opt for the move into turn 3, makes Billy go defensive. Not using any of his overtake at the moment. Foxflew trying to look around the outside of Xavi into turn 4. Goes later on the brakes, has the grip. Can he hold it around the outside? Yes, he can. Will Xavi be able to come back at him on those 20 left on the mediums? No, he can't. Foxflew is through. Which is vital for his race and his championship. He has made a little mistake there out of 7, but shouldn't cost him too badly. Headless King dropping down. But though he isn't pitting to serve that driver actually. Not sure what's gone on there, but I believe he's missing some wing. I couldn't really tell from the camera. Still, Steruli not close enough to have a go this time into turn 3. But the longer we go on, the longer his advantage on the soft tyre starts to dwindle. It's going to be interesting to see what Xavi does now he's on those old tyres. Gunnar is running to the back of Xavi, I believe, and that has lost him a position to Travis. Good bit of opposite lock to save the car there though, so good car control for him. Let's see, Headless King, can we get a good view of this car to see if there's any damage or not? I believe he's missing his right hand side end plate, so he will be into the pits sooner than later. DRS is now enabled up at the front, so this will be the opportunities to really be looking for now, as he will have DRS on the run up to turn 3. Not using a lot of overtake, doesn't really have the overspeed. Maybe could have gone for a bit of a dive, but playing the long game there. Now uses overtake on the run to turn 4. Round the outside. Into turn 4 we go. Steruli can't get past Billy. Billy has gone later onto the brakes and has managed to defend Steruli off, which now puts Steruli at threat from attack from behind. Very well defended from Billy there. On those older tyres, he knows that he's got to try and hold Steruli as much as he can. Although it looks like Billy's pitting. Billy is in the pits. I'm not sure why he's done that. Maybe he got damage, I'm not sure, but now Steruli takes the lead of this race on the soft compound tyres. He needs to use those tyres as much as he can to try and pull away from Foxblue before his soft tyres are worse than those mediums. Wazza now runs third, with Travis in fourth, and Xavi in fifth on those really, really old mediums. I'm honestly astounded as to why he hasn't pitted yet. But Billy has gone on to the soft tyres. Headless King has a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I mean, the race just couldn't get any worse for him. He's serving a 5-second penalty now, which I believe was for a collision under the safety car with Mikey, I think. I'm not sure exactly who he collided with under the safety car, but it might have been Travis, actually. Anyway, Wazza looks very close to the back of Foxblue. Guna is past Xavi. Xavi is finally getting off of those old, rather crusty mediums, which he has been on since the start of this race. I'm not sure why he didn't hit under any of the safety cars, but that's really his race gone. As Valtteri is round in the middle sector. Will we say a safety car for that? No, we won't. So, Foxblue still not really within striking range for Stavili here, but a 5-10 gap. Wazza has got a great exit out of turn 4, had a little look at Foxblue. Not enough to get past on that occasion, but even though Wazza has that penalty, he is looking pretty racy. But Stavili is doing everything he needs to at the moment, although looking at what I can see from his wheel, his left tyre temperatures were skyrocketing through those final 2 corners. I'm not sure how accurate that is. Still, Foxblue still within around that 5-10 gap, opting not really to attack Stavili, maybe waiting for his tyres to die away, which they will do pretty soon in these last 10 laps. Stavili is going to make 10 more laps on those softs, which is going to be a pretty tough feat, but Foxblue biding his time. But in turn, they are all pulling away from Travis, who has been gained on by Guna and Elliott. Mikey in a little bit of a world of his own, but Huss bearing down on him, with Evan not too far behind Huss as well, who's got a bucket load of understeer. Headless King now sets the fastest lap of the race, so it shows that even with 28 seconds of penalties, it's not worth giving up just yet. Be interesting to see if the implications for track limit penalties this week, but 9 laps to go at the front. Stavili still in the lead. Foxblue maybe getting close enough for a little look. I've definitely thought about it. Xavi has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, but he has taken the fastest lap away from Headless King. Foxblue is definitely looking to make the move now, or is definitely looking a lot more racy. It only was a couple of laps to go. Guna is through on Winter Travis. Meanwhile, but Foxblue now trying to get to a point where he can get back to the lead of this race. If he was, I can't remember if he was ever leading. I don't think he was. So he's going to look and try and claim the lead of this race for the first time, and in so trying to extend his championship lead. He is definitely got the pace over Stavili at the moment. He seems to be struggling on those soft tyres. He's got massive overspeed into turn 3, and through he goes. Foxblue takes the lead of the race. Stavili, though, has gone later on the brakes and has hit Foxblue into turn 3. So that might be damage for Stavili, I'm not sure. Looked pretty substantial contact. Wazza, though, having a look at the outside. Stavili goes early on the brakes. Wazza is through into second place at the moment. I think Stavili may have had damage from that. he definitely looks a lot slower now through the corners. I believe Stravulli has made a mistake there on the brakes and has got damage. So Foxley now in the lead. Wazza second. Great race for Wazza. Let's have a look at the position changes. Wazza up 7 positions. So far the biggest winner being Mikey, who was up 11 positions. Started in 17th, and he would gain a position over Stravulli as well. So Mikey running 5th in a race he was earlier today not looking like he was going to be racing in. Wazza has passed Foxblue on track though, with the DRS. Foxblue maybe opting to play the long game, knowing with Wazza having the penalty, maybe not worth fighting that. Which I would say is a rather smart move from him. We'll just look to use the DRS of Wazza to pull himself along. Headless King gets another penalty, so I believe that's Headless King on somewhat. I'm pretty sure that's 31 seconds of penalties now for Headless King. So certainly claim, I mean, attack limits have certainly been ruthless as always today, as they always are around Austria. A lot of drivers getting time penalties. Just shows you that nobody is safe. But Foxblue just using Wazza to pull him along now. Extended advantage to Guna behind. But this looks like it's going to be a pretty easy win for Foxblue, and with Gurjev not here for this race, if Foxblue finishes this race within the top 3, which he looks more than certain to do, he will take the lead of the championship. See anywhere else. Elliott about 5 tenths off of Mikey, but with a penalty. And that is really the closest gap on track other than Wazza and Foxblue, so this race really sort of cooling off and simmering down in this final couple of laps. Wazza is using everything he has to try and pull away from Foxblue. His DRS light flashing most of the way into turn 3 and most of the way down towards turn 4 as well. So Wazza is definitely trying to push as hard as he can to pull away. Ooh, Elliott's past Mikey. But it's going to be a similar situation for Mikey. Oh, as Headless King is out. Headless King has crashed out of the final corner. And that's there's a very late safety car. The safety car hasn't been called in lap 31 of 36. Was off the pit. Foxblue stays out. Guna pits. You can never be sure with these Division 3 races what will happen, but that has really thrown everything bottoms up. And I think Foxblue's made a major blunder there not to pit, being on very old medium tyres now. He is going to be at the mercy of all the other drivers behind him now. Everyone else, I'm pretty sure, is going to pit for a fresh set of soft compound tyres. Other than Evan. Not sure what Evan's done there, but he's gone onto a 15-year-old set of the medium tyres. Maybe the game's glitched and hasn't put him on the right tyre. I'm not sure what's gone on there, but pretty much a no-brainer to pit for a fresh set of softs now. So either that's a mistake on his part, forgetting to change the tyre compound in the pit menu, or the game is glitched and put him on those tyres. Still, it's going to be another short dash to the end of this race where we've got the leader out there on all the tyres compared to those behind him on fresher tyres. This is now pretty much in prime position for Guna to take this race, really, because if he doesn't get penalties, he's got a time advantage over Fox Blue, and if he doesn't have any time penalties, so won't have to worry about Wazza. So then, Evan into the pits, so does opt to go for their soft tyres. I believe that most definitely was a mistake from one party or another. Well, it's going to be most likely 2 racing laps to go. Safety car should be in within the next couple of laps. It doesn't normally stay out much longer than 3 laps to the end. Might be a late call here for the safety car to come in. Depends how quickly Valtteri catches the back of the pack. Doesn't look like it's going to be in this lap. We're going to do one more lap under the safety car, which Fox Blue is going to be counting his lucky stars for that. There's a front wing there, set offline on the run up to turn 1, so glad to see Codemasters doing that. Valtteri has a 5-second penalty for a collision with Evan. Let's have a look at the penalty there. He's on 11 seconds now. The highest number of penalties in the field. But we're going to have 2 laps of racing to the end of this race. With everyone on the soft tyres, other than Fox Blue. It's going to require a masterclass of driving to Fox Blue to keep the lead on track. Can he still win this race? Or will he be chewed up by that pack of soft runners? Only time will tell. He needs a podium minimum to gain the championship lead. But, you know, there's plenty of people behind them that could deny him a chance of that. Let's see now. Gonna ride on board with Mikey off the restart, I think. He is in a sea of people who's avoided soft penalties. Gerso is trying to cheer on the soft runners in chat, obviously knowing that it is vital that Fox Blue doesn't end up on the podium. He has gone off of the restart. Pretty good restarts for everybody though. Let's see though. Can anyone get past Fox Blue? He might still be able to do this. Billy has passed Mikey. And Zavi also having a look at Mikey, but Mikey knowing that he's got the advantage of not having any penalties, so he's still running a net P5, which would be a very good race for him. Wazzo's right on the back of Fox Blue, but it looks very unlikely that Fox Blue is going to drop off the podium either way. But let's see now, as we enter the final corner to enter the final lap of the race. Wazza has got a great exit out of the final corner, and he is past Fox Blue on track. So let's see now, can Gunnar get Fox Blue? Can Gunnar take this win on the track? Because Wazza, even though he's in the lead, he does have that 3-second time penalty still. Gunnar isn't close enough for a look into turn 3. He's gonna have to he's really gonna have to do it into turn 4, or get a good run somewhere else. He has a look into turn 4, but it's not enough. It looks pretty certain that this is gonna be the win for Fox Blue, at least in terms of the time penalties. Unless Gunnar can make a Hail Mary move into these last couple of corners, which I don't think he will. Nah, that's his opportunity gone. Didn't take it up the very good line through the second last corner. So Wazza wins it on track, but it is Fox Blue who takes the Austrian Grand Prix. Gunnar second, Stavilli third. Mikey finishes 4th. A great race for Mikey, who at a point earlier today didn't even know he was going to be racing tonight. So, a very, very good race for Mikey there. Driver of the day, well deserved. Very well deserved for all of the drivers. A Herculean effort there for Fox Blue, who managed to hold on those very old medium tyres at the end. Fox Blue takes the victory tonight, and the championship lead with it. Gunnar second, Stavilli third, Mikey in 4th, from 17th on the grid, definite driver of the day. And everyone else behind on penalties, Wazza 5th, Huss 6th, Billy 7th, Elliot 8th, Travis 9th, Evan 10th, Xavier 11th, and Valtteri 12th. I mean, your non-finishers, Headless King, Stewart, Reflex, Spritzy, Dang Lebels, and Evil Master. That has been it for round 5 of Delta T Racing Season 2, Division 3. There we go, couldn't get that right. I can't believe I said Division 5. Anyway, I believe we're on a bit of a season break now, if I take a look at the calendar. If it's pinned somewhere in our Discord, which you can join through the link in the description. We are on a break now until January, so taking a nice long winter break, a few weeks for all of the drivers to recuperate themselves after a very volatile first 5 rounds of the season. But yeah, that has been Delta T Racing for this week, and I will see you all after the winter.